What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am building another house in the world of Copperdale, and this one is more on the modern side of things. I was most definitely using some furniture pieces from the new Desert Luxe kit. I was kind of trying to see how I could make those furniture pieces work in a more quote-unquote traditional looking home, or like at least less contemporary looking home, because this is definitely sort of like a modern farmhouse type situation or like a modern craftsman. I don't actually know. It kind of like holds the middle between those two styles, I feel like. And I really wanted to make this house look modern. I was more thinking that it would be renovated as opposed to newly built. So this house has been here for a while, but they really just renovated the place. I used a fun mixture of modern windows combined with these windows from Cats and Dogs. I feel like those windows are pretty modern as well, but I also used a window from the Moschino stuff pack, so that one is very modern looking. You can definitely tell that those windows were put in more recently, and then the other ones are they've probably been there a while, but they maybe just got a little paint job, stuff like that. So it's really definitely more so like a renovated house as opposed to a newly built house. But on the interior, it is actually pretty dang modern. I had so much fun with this house. I don't know why, but I just felt so inspired. I'm also building in the world of Copperdale, as you can see. I did make it fall just because I am into the fall vibes right now. It's not necessarily a fall themed house, but I kind of like to set my game to the real-time season, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's fun to just do something that is the complete opposite of what is going on in real life. I know that it's not fall everywhere in the world right now, but it is fall here, and I am all about the fall. It's my favorite season, so I kind of take that opportunity to literally set my game to fall for all my builds, because I just love the lighting, I love the colors, I love the whole vibe of this place. Yeah, this house was not inspired by the fall season, so you can definitely use this house in any season. It's not like fall themed or anything. I just loved the whole like fall vibe for the environment of this place, I guess. Also, I just think that Copperdale is very pretty in autumn. It just looks really good, probably because it's so foresty and like, I don't know, there's just a whole bunch of trees around and like different colored trees and different colored bushes. It's just really nice. And then combined with the water next to this lot, this house, okay, so I was going to actually sit down and build a cute, like, cottagey type house that was most definitely kind of small on this lot, because this lot, as you can see, is pretty small. I think that this is a 20 by 20 lot, so it's definitely small. I was not planning on building an entire family home on this lot, but yeah, that is what happened eventually. I also tried to actually move this house to different lots in this world, so that it would be on a little bit of a bigger lot, so that it would make a little bit more sense, so that we could have more of a backyard going on. I tried it, but I just really, really, really preferred this house on this lot. It's just such an like an idyllic little place, and it's so cute. Would you ideally want to have a smaller home with more yard space on this lot? Probably, but I still really love this house on this lot as well. I think it turned out nice. They have a tiny yard, but they do have a pretty spacious back porch. They also have like a little bit of a front porch area, and they have some free space in the front yard, if that makes sense. So I feel like that kind of makes up for it. They also have this little side porch situation where I did this before, like a couple builds back, where I basically placed the windows without glass from the Cats and Dogs windows and kind of placed them all around so that you kind of have like a little sunroom, except it's literally open. So it's kind of like outdoor space, but not really, if that makes sense. I don't know if that is making any sense, but I did that for this house, like off to the side as well. So they definitely do have some outdoor space. They just don't have the biggest backyard. But then again, look around. This lot is surrounded by a lake, trees, a forest. I feel like there's tons of outdoor stuff to do, tons of outdoor space for them to enjoy. Just not necessarily on the lot, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm kind of just making up excuses for it now, but I also I tried to place this house on a bigger lot, but I also, if I did that, I wanted to build on a lot that I had not built on before in Copperdale, because I have not built on any, like on every single lot here. So I didn't really want to do a lot that I had already covered previously. So I tried to place it on a bigger one that I hadn't built on before, and it was in this same area nearby the fair, basically. But the lighting on that lot is so difficult to work with. Like, I could not get it to work. I didn't like it for this house at all. It didn't do it justice. I didn't like it. So I immediately moved it back over to this lot, basically. And yeah, this is where the house will end up being placed. And I think that that was the best call. But yeah, you can really see the color scheme for the house come together. I am going for this tan brown siding color combined with this white, or rather like light gray brick. I think the light gray brick is from Cottage Living, if I'm not mistaken. And then I also used the light gray and white swatch for the windows, which I think is just such a pretty combination. It really makes this house feel more modern. The gray windows are just a really good call, I feel like. I also used the Moschino window in gray as well, and then I paired it with two taller, narrow, tall base game windows, also in a gray swatch, and they just go together seamlessly. Not seamlessly, but they go together very nicely in like that bay window situation that I created. So yeah, in that regard, you can really tell that this house has had some updates. The windows got a recent paint job. The front door got a recent paint job. I don't know. I feel like this house looks very updated. Even though the style isn't necessarily very modern, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm making any sense explaining what I was doing, but you can basically just see it come together. And I love the color scheme. The color scheme definitely kind of feels like fall, but then again, it is a fairly neutral, basic color scheme that will go in any season, I think. I also feel like this house would look pretty in the snow. I think that would just be so cozy. Yes, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yes, I am starting to become a tiny little bit excited for Christmas. I know, it's ridiculous. I didn't think that would happen so soon, but I was just scrolling on Instagram and I came across, I think, like a picture or like a photo, like a Christmas themed something. I don't know what the context was of this whole thing, but I just saw it and it was so visually pleasing. And in that moment, I realized that gave me a little bit of a spark of joy. And it was because of the Christmas vibes. And I was like, oh, I think this means that I am starting to become excited for Christmas, which, yes, that is very early. I don't think that has ever happened to me before, but I don't know. I'm excited. Yeah, but I am not doing any Christmas builds. I'm not planning on doing any Christmas builds for the upcoming couple months. Don't worry. Maybe a snow build in the upcoming few weeks. I don't know. I feel like I have to wait with snow builds until at least the end of October. So at least another month, I think, before I will do my first snow build. Then again, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But here you can see I was doing some landscaping. I played around with the terrain tool for this house. I have really been trying to get out of my comfort zone and use the terrain tool a lot because I used to be not comfortable at all. Using the terrain tool usually didn't even cross my mind for a single second because I just hated it. But yeah, these days I'm trying to make my houses look a little bit more interesting from the exterior. I wanted to make it look like there's a little bit more going on. And the terrain tool is just perfect for that. You can do so much with it, and I am definitely not very comfortable with it yet. But now that I am actually using the tool mod as a staple for building these days, I didn't do that before either, so that probably has something to do with it as well. But now I can actually like lower down my plants and stuff manually, because if you're familiar with the terrain tool at all, you will know that you can use the terrain tool, but then landscaping is going to be nearly impossible because all your plants will float. It will be so annoying. But now that I have the terrain tool and I am starting to like slowly get a little bit more comfortable with it, I can like lower my plants and it's not that big of a deal. So I can just use the terrain tool to my heart's content and just like lower my plants manually. It's a little bit more time consuming. I did not like record all of the landscaping for this build because that would just take so long. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I feel like the terrain tool just definitely adds a little bit of something to it. And it just really goes nicely with the whole environment of this place as well. The whole surrounding area. So yeah, that's what I did. But yes, here you can see we're moving on to the interior. I definitely used some of the Desert Looks kit stuff. You can see that I used the tile flooring. I used this tile flooring in the hallway, like the entryway. And then the entryway has a glass door leading into the open kitchen and dining area, where, as you can see, I used that exact same tile. And then the kitchen and dining area has a beautiful bifold glass door leading into the living room area. I am so in love with the floor plan for this house. I think it turned out so nicely. Obviously, I will show you this house in real time so we can kind of go over the floor plan after the speed build portion of the video. So you can get a little bit of a better idea of what the, like how the whole floor plan kind of flows together. But I'm in love with how it came out, and I am also in love with the color scheme. You can see that I use this very warm tan, what would you call this? Like a terracotta color, or like a caramel color, I guess is what I would call it. In the living room, it's very warm. It goes nicely with the swatch of the couch that I picked. And then for the kitchen is a little bit more on the cool tone side. So the living room, I really wanted to make it feel like very warm and cozy, but still modern. So I combined a whole heap of different stuff from different packs together to kind of achieve that. You can really see it come together here. And then the kitchen, I wanted to feel like a little bit more on the cool tone side. So I used the gray, like the light gray tiles in there. And I used a kind of the same wallpaper I'm using in the living room, just in a cool toned color instead of a warm toned color, like a pinkish, grayish kind of vibe. I don't know. I just feel like it ties in very nicely with the wooden floor that I'm using in the living room as well. I feel like the whole color scheme for this place, it turned out nice. Everything flows together nicely. I'm actually quite proud of this one. The whole new kit thing, like the modern stuff from the Desert Luxe kit, really inspired me to go for these like neutral color schemes and like play around with that a little bit more with like different tones and stuff. And yeah, it has really inspired me to build a little bit more, which is nice because I won't lie, I have been in a little bit of a rut when it comes to building. I've just been building the same things over and over, I feel like, and I kind of just was kind of getting a little bit bored with my own builds, which is terrible. So I was like, okay, I need something to like spark inspiration. And that is when this kit came out. And yeah, I'm very excited about the stuff that came with this. It's been nice because like the rest, basically the rest of the community, I have been obsessed with Disney Dreamlight Valley. Yeah, it's starting to become a little bit of an issue. I also stream over on Twitch a couple times a week, so I used to stream a lot of Sims, but now I have basically turned into a Dreamlight Valley channel, which it's getting out of hand. Everyone is enjoying that game so much though, so I feel like it's not really that big of an issue, but I don't want to neglect this game. I love The Sims as well. I have just been not feeling very motivated, or motivated isn't the right word, just not very inspired lately. I really worded that strangely. I hope I'm making any sense today. Yeah, I have been in a little bit of a rut. I haven't been sure of like what I wanted to do in the game, what I wanted to build. So getting a little bit sidetracked with a different game has also been quite nice. And that in combination with this new kit, like the new items from this kit, it's good. It's a good combination. I'm feeling that spark of inspiration again. I started a build this morning that I'm actually already so happy with. It is not anywhere near done, but it's basically just like a ranch, like a modern ranch type of build, which I don't know, but it's just something I've been really enjoying working on, even though I literally just started it. But yeah, it's just, I guess I'm just trying to say that it's nice that I have been a little bit sidetracked from The Sims. It's really helped my motivation and like inspiration basically for building. Yeah, you could basically see the whole living room come together as I was ranting about stuff. And here you can see we're working on the kitchen. I love this kitchen. I use a lot of black in here because, as you can see, the whole color scheme for the floor and the walls is very light. So I wanted to kind of create a little bit of a contrast. And I did that by using a lot of black for the appliances and for the countertops, as you can see. And I love the layout for this kitchen. I really wanted to do like a galleyway kitchen sort of thing. That is what you call that, right? Like a galleyway kitchen. But like the space was a little bit too big for that. So I decided to do that with regular counters against the wall and then island counters on the other side. I think it turned out nice. So we have some extra seating with that as well. So because we have some bar stools and things, as you can see. And then we have this large dining table in the middle of the room, basically. And the dining room kind of connects the kitchen and the living room. And I feel like that's perfect. It is such a nice, like, the dining table is literally the center of the living space. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense because that is where you have like the family dinners, where you come together as a family. I think that that makes a lot of sense. So I am so happy with how this floor plan came together. I know I already said that, but I felt like repeating it. Yeah, for the storyline for this family, I did not really have anything in mind at first. I definitely was thinking of a married couple that is not too young, because this house is pretty luxurious. It's modern. It's basically newly renovated. It feels like a new house. It's probably very expensive. So I definitely was thinking of like an older couple, not elderly Sims, but definitely adults getting somewhat close to aging up into elders. And they do have 2 kids, but the kids are both off to college and they're nearly done. Like maybe one of them actually already graduated college and the other one is getting close to graduating college. So basically like an empty nester's home, if that makes sense. And then by the time their kids have kids, then this would be like the cool grandparents' house in Copperdale, where the grandchildren can run around in the forest and swim in the lake, like stuff like that. That is really what I was feeling for the family living here. So they're a very warm, family-oriented family, basically, or household. But yeah, the kids don't live here anymore. They do have bedrooms still. I did furnish their bedrooms, but you can definitely tell that their bedrooms are less detailed because they don't live here anymore. They stay here from time to time, of course. So that is why their bedrooms are still intact, because they do come home from college every now and then. It's definitely still their house as well. They just don't really live here anymore actively. So that is what I was thinking. They definitely do have their bedrooms upstairs, but yeah, they probably took all of their important stuff with them, except for most of their furniture. But their bedrooms definitely aren't very detailed anymore because, yeah, all the clutter is kind of gone. Yeah. No Sims actually actively live in those rooms. So that is kind of the vibe that I was trying to achieve. And then downstairs, so yes, this is a 3-bedroom house, but you could very easily turn it into a 4-bedroom house because we do have this fancy office off of the entryway. I was definitely thinking that one of the parents runs like a business from home or some sort of practice. I was thinking maybe they're a lawyer, but then I was like, maybe not. But they definitely do have their own business, and they have clients come over to their office to talk about stuff. Maybe they work in like finance or something. Maybe they help other people with their businesses with financial stuff. Like, I really have no clue how to word that any better than I just did. But I feel like that makes sense. Maybe they know a lot about money or something like that. I feel like people pay a lot of money to have someone work for you that knows a lot about how to handle your money. I feel like maybe that is what this parent does. Either the mom or the dad, or maybe it's 2 moms, maybe it's 2 dads. I don't actually know. I didn't really think about that. I think I was envisioning a mom and a dad, but it could definitely be anything, of course. So yeah, there is that fancy office for one of the parents. And then the other parent also works. I was imagining they both definitely work, but I don't know what the other parent's career would be. Maybe they are, and I was gonna say teacher, but I don't think they would be a teacher. I think they would definitely work like in some sort of office or something, or maybe they're like a journalist or something. I don't know. Maybe they write, something like that. However, there is only one office in this house. So one parent works from home pretty much. Well, I think, yes, definitely from home full time because they own their own business. Then the other parent works for another like company or business or what have you. And they go into the office for work is what I was thinking. But yes, here off of the kitchen, we have a full bathroom downstairs. That is the only bathroom downstairs. And then upstairs, we have another full bathroom. So there aren't any fancy en-suites or anything in this house because the upstairs for this house is actually not that spacious. I mean, it's not small, but there is one side of the house, basically the whole entire right side of the house. I have this bedroom basically built into the roof, and there is a little dormer for windows, obviously, and then there's a little window off to the side as well. But that room it's pretty big, but also kind of awkwardly shaped. So that took up a lot of space. And then for the rest, I had space for 2 all right sized bedrooms, I guess, and then 1 bathroom in the middle. So no fancy en-suites or anything in this house, but 2 full bathrooms, which is definitely enough because I was thinking of only 2 Sims living here actively. So that is definitely enough. But then when the kids do come home, it's 4 Sims total. And then I feel like 2 full bathrooms still is fine. Like I said, you could always turn the office downstairs into another bedroom. Then you might want to do maybe like an extra bathroom somewhere. I think you could fiddle around with the layout and work that out somehow. But yeah, I feel like the way I built it, 2 bedrooms or 2 bathrooms definitely makes sense. But here you can see we have the parents' master bedroom. I went again for like a cooler, like cool toned color scheme in here. A lot of darker accents, a lot of blacks, and like darker wood tones and stuff. And I feel like this bedroom turned out so nicely. I don't usually go for TVs in bedrooms. I don't ever do that actually. But for this room, I felt like it was fitting. I had the perfect space for it. And it was just nice. So I decided to do that. And they also have a little walk-in closet with a glass sliding door leading into it. Because we have so many like glass sliding doors going on in this house, I felt like this would be fitting. It would definitely like fit the whole like theme and the whole renovation that they probably did for this house. So I used this modular furniture from, what is it called? Dream Home Decorator in this walk-in closet. It's not too crazy or fancy detailed or anything. I just hung up a bunch of clothes and I filled up the slots in the dressers with some knickknacks as well. And then that is basically it for their bedroom. It's not small, but it's not big, but it definitely feels luxurious and definitely modern as well. And then here we have the first kids' bedroom. So yeah, like I said, these kids don't live at home anymore. So that is why their bedrooms feel, I don't want to say empty because they don't feel empty at all. They're just not very cluttered because most of the clutter is probably gone, except for like some like posters and stuff on the wall that they didn't bring with them to college. Because why would you? Unless you have like some wall posters and stuff that are very important to you, I feel like you would kind of maybe decorate your dorm from scratch. When it comes to posters and stuff, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with dorm situations because we don't really have that here where I live in the Netherlands. Obviously you can move out of the house when you go to college, but you don't move into dorms. You like rent a place with roommates. And then, I guess it's kind of like the same thing as dorms, but I remember when I moved out of the house into a house with roommates, I did not really bring any of my posters or anything from home. I just hung up new decorations because it's also, you're like decorating a new room because you kind of want to start over, like start fresh basically. So yeah, that is what I was thinking. And then here you can see we have this, this bedroom is definitely a little bit larger. It's just a little bit more awkwardly shaped. I did, however, have the space for a bigger bed in here. So I was definitely thinking that this is the oldest kids' room. They have been out of the house the longest. And yeah, like I said, they do come home from time to time. They still have some clothes and stuff here that they keep here because they don't have space for in their current living situation or something like that. But yeah, this is the biggest kids' room of the house. I really liked how this one came out. It's very awkward, like I said, like shape-wise, but that's what I like about it. I feel like it's very cozy and cute. So there's definitely still some like childhood knickknacks in here, as you can see, like some toys. I was thinking maybe this kid could be into cooking, so I placed some cooking books, like some cookbooks on their end table. I don't know why, but I came across those books and I was like, yeah, that could be a thing. Maybe this person is in college to become a chef or something like that. I don't know. It could be fun. So that's what I was thinking. And yeah, I just decorated the room. So if you want to actually go ahead and use it, it feels like finished. But yeah, that is it for the storyline. And then we are also furnishing the back porch. The back porch is quite spacious. So I tried to fit as many like activities, I guess, or like as much stuff as I could. So we have a living room situation, or a seating space, I should say. And then I also used this new grill that we have from the new kit. I love that grill. It looks so good and definitely not as bulky as most of the grills that we have in the game. It's so detailed, it's so pretty. So I definitely placed that one out here. And also an outdoor bin in the corner, a little bit hidden away by placing that plant in front of it, basically. And yeah, we have a little seating space with a couch from Seasons and a little table, like a dining table, so you can have dinner outside. And then I also placed some not flower arranging table. I placed some planter boxes and then also the handiness table as a few activities that your Sims can do. And then we also have a front porch with a little seating area, or basically just 2 chairs. And I placed some plants to make it look pretty, but then that is basically it for this build. So let's jump right into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. We're definitely pretty far into fall at this point. So we have some like piles of leaves around, but that's okay. I love this area in Copperdale. It's so pretty. You can even swim in this lake. It's perfect. But anyway, here we have the front of the house. There is definitely some more space for activities if you wanted to add anything to this house here in the front yard. When we walk around the house, we have the backyard that isn't very big either. We just have a woodworking bench, some planter boxes, and then the back porch. The back porch has a dining table, a seating area, and a grill as well. So definitely a functional space if you ask me. Then for the front porch, I'm just so obsessed with these coffee tables, I can't stop using them. So I placed 2 of them on the front porch. And maybe a little bit overkill, but I just love this item so much that I had to place 2 of them. Then when we go inside, we have this entryway. The entryway color scheme wise really sets the tone for the rest of the house, I feel like. It's very small, so I didn't really have a lot of space in here, but I still feel like it looks quite nice. And then off of the entryway, we have the office space. I feel like it makes a lot of sense to actually have the office space directly off of the entryway, so your clients don't have to literally walk all the way through your house to get to the office. So that's probably also the main reason why they didn't turn this room into the master bedroom, because this room is definitely bigger than their bedroom, but you maybe wouldn't want to have your office upstairs in this case. And then over here we have a sliding glass door leading into basically the rest of the house. It feels like an open floor plan, even though technically it isn't, because the living room is closed off from the rest of the house by this bifold glass door. But yeah, here we have the dining table in the center of the house. And then over here we have the modern kitchen. I love how I didn't use any overhead cabinets for this one. It feels very clean and modern. We do have some open shelving, but yeah, it looks nice, I think. I love this kitchen. And then off of the kitchen, we have the downstairs full bathroom. So yeah, very modern with a glass walk-in shower, but very simple. And then over here we have the main living room of the house. I can totally understand that this might be a little bit too warm and too caramelly for most of you or some of you, but I am in love with this color. So yeah, this is like a dream living room. I think it's so beautiful. We have this dining table situation that is more so used for like additional office space or playing games or what have you. Situated near the bay window, and we have a bookcase and then this additional shelving unit that I am in love with. I love this item. And then over here we have the actual main living area. My playtester Sim loves her TV time. She is always watching TV. We have some chairs over here and a modern fireplace with a TV above it. And then over here we have this little additional outdoor space, I guess, with some planter pots and an easel as well. And then when we go upstairs, we have the landing, and the landing is actually open to the entryway. I love when I have the space and like the ability to make the landing open to the ground floor. It's just such a nice feature, I feel like. So we have that here, and then here we have the master bedroom. It's not very big, but it feels quite luxurious. So they have their bed over here, a bed from Seasons, and then they have their end table with a TV, and then across from the door they have their walk-in closet. It's not a very fancy walk-in closet, but it gets the job done, and I think it still feels very modern. Then over here we have the first kids room. It definitely feels not very detailed, and that is exactly what I was going for, since this is like an empty nester's home. But you can definitely tell that a kid or a teenager used to live in this room, because there's definitely some knickknacks left and like a poster. So I feel like that's pretty cute. And then over here we have the larger kids room with a double bed, some shelving on top. Again, a pretty empty desk, which I loved as a feature for this house. Some childhood knickknacks over here across from the bed, and then obviously a wardrobe as well. And then next to the parents' bedroom, we actually have the upstairs full bathroom. This one is pretty spacious, so I had the space for a separate tub and shower, which was nice. This bathroom, again, pretty modern and quite fancy as well, but also quite basic. But that is basically it for this build. So this modern Copperdale home is now up on the gallery. It comes in a just under 94,000 simoleons. I am so sorry, it is so expensive. But again, I feel like it does make sense for this house, for this family. They're pretty wealthy, you know, so it's fine. The house has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and I built it on a 20 by 20 lot in Copperdale. So if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. But that is going to do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you like. My username on there is simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/simmarysims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!